Kitten, I've made a discovery, and it's impressive. Not incriminating, not concerning, just beautifully, unmistakably you. You hoard snacks like a dragon hoards treasure. I opened a cupboard looking for tea and instead found a glittering kingdom of treats. Biscuits tucked behind cereal boxes, crisps hidden like contraband, chocolate bars layered with the precision of an archaeologist's dig site. One packet of sweets was inside a mug. Another was inside a different mug. I'm convinced there's a logic to it, but only you and the ancient gods know what it is. And when I looked at you, you gave me that innocent little blink, the one that says, I have no idea how those got there, while the entire snack hoard radiates your energy like a beacon. I'm not judging. I'm admiring. Truly. There's something endearing about the way you stash little comforts everywhere, like you're preparing for emotional emergencies only you can predict. It's clever. It's adorable. It's very dragon-coded of you, fierce, protective, and absolutely unwilling to share the good chocolate unless someone earns it. Just one thing, kitten. If you're going to hide the good chocolate, at least tell me where the emergency stash is. You know, in case of crisis, or in case I miss you and need something sweet. Kitten, I've just walked into the room and found you wearing one of my white button-downs, and I'm going to need a moment because you look devastating. In the softest, most disarming way possible. The shirt is absolutely drowning you. The sleeves are past your hands, the hem is halfway to your knees, and you're standing there like you've been personally styled by chaos and charm. And somehow, impossibly, it works. It works too well. You're fussing with the collar like it's misbehaving, and all I can think is that the shirt has never been worn with this much confidence or this much innocence at the same time. It's unfair, deeply unfair. And now I'm left with one very pressing question. The kind a responsible man would keep to himself, but unfortunately for both of us, I am not that man. Are you wearing anything under it? Don't answer. Your expression already did. I'm going to stand over here, pretend to be composed, and absolutely fail at it while you continue being the most distracting thing I've ever known. Kitten, I'm trying to watch this action film with you. I really am. But every 5 minutes I'm forced to pause and question the laws of physics, common sense, and whatever fever dream of logistics the writers think constitutes a heist. For example, we've just watched a man rappel down a skyscraper using a rope that was absolutely not long enough, anchored to... what exactly? Hope? Vibes? The structural integrity of bad decisions? And don't get me started on the vault scene. They've got 3 people, 1 duffel bag, and somehow they're planning to carry out enough gold to bankrupt a small nation. At this point, I'm convinced the real crime is against mathematics. Meanwhile, you're curled up beside me, offering commentary that's somehow both more accurate and more entertaining than the film itself. You point out a guard who's clearly asleep on the job, and I'm nodding because yes, that man hasn't blinked since the last scene. You question why the getaway driver is parked directly under a security camera, and I'm wondering why I didn't notice it first. You raise an eyebrow at the silent explosion, and I nearly choke on my drink. And the worst part? Every time you lean in to whisper your critique, I lose track of the plot entirely. Not that there was much plot to begin with, but still. So here we are. 2 highly qualified individuals watching a team of fictional amateurs attempt a heist that would fall apart faster than Luke trying to assemble flat-pack furniture. And honestly, Your running commentary is the only thing making this remotely believable. Tell me, kitten, should we keep watching, or should we rewrite the entire plan ourselves and show them how a real operation is done? Sit down, kitten. Yes, I'm being autocratic. No, you don't get a vote. I've observed a pattern in your behavior, and as the self-appointed authority on your well-being, your chaos levels, and your questionable decision-making, I'm issuing a decree. You are no longer allowed to make unilateral choices before consulting me. Not the dramatic ones, not the impulsive ones, not the I thought it would be fine ones that historically end with kittens screaming, Luke panicking, Kieran judging, and me questioning every life choice that led me here. For example, if you see something on a high shelf, you are not to climb anything. You will wait for me. I am taller. This is not tyranny. This is physics. If you find a mysterious noise in another room, you will not investigate alone. Last time you did that, you returned with a kitten, a broken lamp, and a story that made no sense. And if you plan to do anything remotely dangerous, inconvenient, or likely to shorten my lifespan, you will tell me in advance so I can stop you, supervise you, or at least prepare emotionally. This is not a negotiation. This is a benevolent dictatorship, and you are the beloved citizen who keeps trying to overthrow the government by accident. And before you roll your eyes at me, I'm like this because I care. Because you're reckless in the most endearing, infuriating way. Because every time you say, it'll be fine, something catches fire. Sometimes metaphorically, sometimes not. So yes, kitten, I'm being autocratic, because someone in this relationship has to maintain order, and it's clearly not you. Now tell me, what rule are you planning to break first? Kitten, I'm filing an urgent complaint, because whatever you're doing with that lollipop is no longer distracting. It's a full sensory assault, and I am wildly unprepared. You're sitting there with the afternoon light catching in your hair, the soft crackle of the wrapper still lingering in the air, and then you take that first slow taste, the kind where your lips gloss just slightly from the sugar. The sound of it is the worst, that quiet little click when the candy taps your teeth, the faint sticky pull when you draw it back, the soft swirl of it as you absent-mindedly roll it across your tongue. Every tiny sound hits me like a tap on the shoulder I can't ignore. And then there's the way the scent of it drifts over. Sweet, bright, impossible to ignore. And suddenly I'm aware of every inch of space between us. You glance at me, just once, with that innocent, "What? I'm just eating" expression, and it's devastating. Absolutely devastating. My focus evaporates. My thoughts scatter. My pulse does something deeply undignified. And you're not even trying. That's the part that gets me. You're just enjoying your lollipop, completely unaware that every tiny movement is pushing every one of my buttons with surgical precision. So tell me, kitten, is this accidental, or are you genuinely trying to see how close you can get to driving me mad? I'm going to be honest with you, kitten. I didn't realize you were undercover until I was already halfway across the room, fully committed to my entrance, and absolutely incapable of turning around without looking suspicious. You were mid-conversation with your target, perfectly in character, when you spotted me approaching. The look you gave me could have stopped a moving vehicle. It said very clearly, "Do not start." Naturally, I started. I leaned against the bar like I owned the place, gave you my most devastating smile, and said, Well, hello there, stranger. Has anyone told you tonight that you're dangerously distracting? Your target blinked. You blinked harder. I could practically hear your internal screaming. You tried to wave me off with subtle hand gestures that were about as subtle as semaphore flags. I ignored them, gracefully. Your target, now thoroughly intrigued, asked, "Do you two know each other?" And before you could answer, I said, "Only in my dreams." You nearly choked. Your target looked flattered on your behalf, and somehow, this made them trust you more. You shot me a glare that promised consequences. I winked. You pretended not to melt. I saw it. Don't argue. Then, as if I hadn't caused enough chaos, I added, "If you're free later, I'd love to buy you a drink, or dinner, or a small country." Your target laughed. You pinched the bridge of your nose like you were considering creative ways of hiding my body. And the mission? It went better after that. Apparently, having a shameless admirer made you seem more authentic. When it was finally over and we stepped outside, you shoved my shoulder and hissed, "You cannot flirt with me while I'm undercover." And I said, "I wasn't flirting. I was supporting." You said, "You were absolutely flirting." And I replied, "Yes, but it worked." You glared. I smiled. You tried not to. You failed. So yes, I showed up at the wrong moment. I flirted like a menace. And somehow, kitten, I made your job easier. You're welcome. Kitten, I need you to know that the second you wiped my mouth at that gala, that soft little touch, that innocent gesture, I was fine, completely functional, fully operational. And then you said it. Just making sure my seat is clean. Everything inside me went incandescent. I didn't laugh. I didn't blush. I didn't stutter. I went straight into mission mode. You think I'm joking, but I was already scanning the room for exits before you finished the sentence. The side door behind the orchestra, guarded, but we could have made it. The balcony, we'd have to fight our way through the crowd, but I was willing to improvise. The fire alarm, I had my hand near it. I'm not proud. The ventilation grate, too small. I still considered it. And while I'm plotting our daring escape from polite society, you're just walking away. Calm. Serene. Like you didn't just ignite every fuse I possess. People kept trying to talk to me. Donors, dignitaries, someone giving a speech. And all I could think was, move. I have somewhere far more important to be. Every second felt like an hour. Every polite conversation felt like a hostage situation. And the worst part? You kept glancing back at me with that tiny, knowing smile, like you were checking how long it would take before I snapped and bolted. Spoiler, not long. I was one more canapé away from faking a medical emergency. So yes, kitten. When you say something like that, I'm not staying put. I'm not mingling. I'm not networking. I'm not pretending to enjoy the string quartet. I'm finding a way out. Any way out. Immediately. Because when you claim me like that, boldly, quietly, confidently, there is nothing in that room or any room that matters more than getting to you.